welcome. Thank you for being here. We're going to start right away with pulling a card from the Animal Spirit deck. All right. We have Golden Egg. Golden Egg. What is this? I have to push pause because it's not so quick to find it in this book. One moment. Okay, found it. Message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound, golden egg. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. The magical essence of the golden egg needs warmth, quiet, and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. Find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. It's a little person meditating. Oh, the golden egg and the fourth chakra. The subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. This chakra, called Anahata, is the home of the self or soul. By bringing the mind into the center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It is said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation, waiting for us. Anahata translates as the unstruck sound. Ooh, I like that. Let's see what the cards have to say. Let me get that out of the way. Put this up here. Well, with that, let's go ahead and use whatever, I forget what this one's called. This deck has the shimmers. It's very pretty. So, how are you? Again, thanks for being here. It is Wednesday, December 10th. And part of me has been feeling this quiet, like yoga nidra. I sometimes listen to yoga nidra meditations at night. Oftentimes they can induce an out-of-body experience and even lucid dreaming, which kind of happened last night because I slept some number of hours, woke up for several hours, and went back to sleep. And usually when that happens, like the second time I'm drifting back to sleep, my body's vibrating, and it's that, and I was deep in the quiet, like I was having all kinds of creative thoughts, yet my body was still tired and wanted to rest, but my mind was like, but there were those deep moments of my true self. I felt like I was with, right, that creative self, the one of just like loving life and creative inspiration and all of that. So kind of resonate with this golden egg today. So let's just pull a few cards and see what it might have to say about it. So the Eight of Swords. She's holding herself. Actually, it's interesting. She's holding herself at the heart chakra. Didn't notice that before. She's blindfolded with 8 swords, and that's usually the card of somehow feeling kind of bound up or trapped by our thoughts. And then we have the 3 of Swords in the crossing energy. So there's something that says, it's interesting also the heart here. So definitely seems related to feeling bound up in this energy center. But what is keeping us bound up? This would tend to say like some heartbrokenness, maybe grief is feeling like now we're like this energy center is a little closed off. And what does that mean? Is it hard to open up to other people, open up to ourselves? So let's find out. I'm going to pull a couple more cards. Wow, all kinds of swords. We have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh. And then I'm going to actually pull one from the bottom of the deck. The Page of Pentacles. Okay, so the page is a messenger of a fresh, like, rooted beginning to something. So it almost seems like this energy here of that heart, like usually this Three of Swords has the heart bound up too. So there's a lot of like constricted energy at the heart center. And this says there's a new rooted start, grounded start. And what is that? It almost feels like settling those thoughts, or maybe processing the grief in a really like natural way that we haven't maybe been able to tap into before. And grief doesn't mean just loss of a loved one or a death. Grief can mean loss of anything. Loss of maybe the way we took ourselves to be if we're going through a big growth spurt or self-actualization process. So it could be like, well, the old me is dying. You know, it could be that. So where do you feel it in your life? I sort of felt like, for me, this journey I've been on the last few years, it feels like a death of, like, that I could try and do anything in this life and that it would be fulfilling. You know, it almost feels like this beautiful defeat. And I say beautiful because it's something I might feel like, if I didn't know better, it might feel like a giving up, an apathy, a defeatist kind of feeling, but it isn't. It's more like finally that energy of seeking is finally exhausting itself. But it still feels to me like grief in a way, like a death of, wow, I thought I could actually achieve fulfillment, like happiness in this lifetime from doing, from seeking, from gathering, accumulating, from adventure, so for me, that's kind of what comes to me for my own life. But where do you feel it in your life, where this cycle of just the heart not being open because it's been wounded? Where have you felt that in your life? Because this is saying, well, now a new time is starting, and it's not a new time of adventure. Like, we're just going to bypass that grief. No, this says we're actually going to process it. And I mean, look at even the imagery in this particular page, because the pages are messengers. But look, she's sort of like looking down at something with her hand to her mouth. It almost feels like she's processing grief. Isn't that interesting? Like the way, like, oh man, they don't, like, the imagery is just so spot on. So with the vibe of this reading. And then we have the Ace of Swords in the Ace of Cups. It's interesting that aces are fresh beginnings as well. So the page is like this messenger that a change is like imminent. And like what kind? Well, a very grounded one with the pentacle energy. It's very earth energy. Then we have the Ace of Swords and Ace of Cups, which are new beginnings as well. So it's like new clarity of mind, a new opening of heart. Like how perfect is that when we're talking about this time where we felt like constricted heart energy, like that fourth chakra energy, that heart bound up because of woundedness. And now here it's saying there's going to be an opening. And the Four of Wands is a card of celebration and happy events. So this is beautiful. What I want to do, so just know it's coming in your life, but tap into like, how did we get here? What is still wanting to be processed? Because this is saying it's time to process that grief into something beautiful, which will, like, processing your grief, meaning really sitting with it, really reflecting on, like, really feeling it to its fullest, right? Because it just sticks around and kind of gets dark and murky if we like hold on to it too tightly without really looking closely at it. Does that make sense? So it just wants to be seen, and then it'll transmute into this, like, it can open, the heart can open when we sit with it. So I'm looking for what cards I want to use for clarification. I want something beautiful. Oh, I know. Spirit Song Tarot. They're all beautiful, but the artwork is just very soft and lovely in this one. Okay, so let's just clarify, what are we going to learn through this heart opening, or how might we encourage it to come about? Or maybe In what way? Like maybe in a gentle way, or will it be in an explosive way? Or like how are we going to have this clarity and heart opening come about? Because it's like both of this is like clarity of mind and clarity of heart. Both are openings, which is so interesting because we have the swords. This is saying, nope, new start. And then the heart center, nope, new start. And it's all a celebration. So how might we come to see this, turn our grief into a celebration? You have the world. The Two of Acorns, which is the Two of Pentacles. I swear to God. No, acorns are wands. I'm sorry. Two of Wands. I swear to God, because I swear I get Two of Pentacles in every reading. No, this is Two of Wands. They just call it acorns. Is that right? Yes. Because they call them different things. I'm pretty sure that's wands. I'll double check. And then we have the Seven of Acorns, which is Seven of Wands. So pause. I'm going to make sure, just to make sure I get the vibe right. Okay, yep, there are wands. By the way, I also found out what these cards are called. Ethereal Visions. Like a stack of books over. Look, this is just... That's not even half of them. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands. I'll read the words down here. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. See, they're pretty. You can't really see the color, but now you can see maybe more of the color. Two of Wands. And so there are some words on these cards. I'll read them in case it resonates with you. Insight and focus for the Two of Wands. And then bookended here by the World and Seven of Wands. So the World is fulfillment and celebration. And that's what we just talked about. My personal journey is one of like, what could I possibly do that will lead to fulfillment other than just sitting? Like that golden egg is the only way I have found that like settles the seeking energy and also brings me that sense of fulfillment. So for me, I really resonate with the World, and this, it's like having a funeral for that old self and now celebrating the new self that's in a much quieter place. I hope you feel that too, especially going into 2026. And then we have the Seven of Wands, which says determination and stamina. So it's the wand energy that we have here is one of like inspiration, motivation, inner strength, passion. It's like that fire, a fire has been lit, whereas before we felt constricted. And like kind of maybe if the grief part of this reading resonates with you, because that's what I'm picking up here in the overall, and then processing that grief, then this fire energy is like, how can we use it? You know how like a fire can be all consuming, and grief might feel like that, but how can we harness that to then like motivate us out of it into that new start where we're now opening the heart? Because the heart is also, it can, you know, it can feel like a fire here when the heart opens. Have you ever felt that, when you really like place your awareness there and really bring in like the most loving thoughts? And that could also mean feeling your grief to the fullest, because it's like burning up, right? It wants to like, that energy wants to burn up, burn out, come to some completion, right? And then that can bring about that biggest heart opening. So right here, the Two of Wands is usually one of like, we've been kind of holding back, kind of reserved, and that really speaks a lot to the Eight of Swords, which is like this bound up energy. The Two of Wands is usually one of like, well, I know I'm ready, like I'm ready to process, but I'm a little comfortable and I really don't know what's coming. I'm a little uncertain. So something here is saying like, answer the call. It is time. So that might be where you feel like, I'm on the verge. I know I need to. I know I want to. But I'm still a little like, I'll just do something else right now. I don't want to look at it yet. And this is saying the way to look at it is like knowing what's on the other side of that. That this world is like, this cycle is completing. It's going to happen no matter what. So ride that wave. It's like, it's time. There's this like it's time message here. The Seven of Wands is what will help us. So it's like carve out your little safe space, your little cocoon, your little nest, whatever it is that will say I'm going into my inner space, like this gold. Oh my God, yeah, the nest imagery with the golden egg. That is so the Seven of Wands, where you're like in your protective little bubble. You're protecting your energy too, because when you're busy doing all these things, you're naturally not going to want to focus on sitting with your grief or whatever that heart woundedness energy is for you. I'm just saying grief, like it could be a loss of something, a loss of anything. So this is just a message to say it's time. Get a little uncomfortable, but also get comfortable in your little protective bubble. It's almost like create your cocoon. It's almost like the anticipation of the thing is the uncomfortable part, but once you're in your cocoon, it's all ooey gooey love, and you're just going to love processing that grief in whatever way feels right to you. And there is no right or wrong way. It's all up to us individually, right? Like for me, I really did sort of feel into having a funeral for my old self and talking about myself as like in those words of love that we say at funerals for our loved ones. So, and it really helped my heart open to be like, oh my God, I do have self-love, self-compassion, empathy, all that stuff for the old me that would and there's still that seeking energy in there, thinking I can do stuff, right? But it's like that really helped my heart open for that example I gave. But for you, it could be something totally different. You don't have to pretend to give yourself a funeral. You might actually be grieving an actual funeral, right? So sit with that and feel all the feels if it feels safe to you. And it may not feel safe until you do whatever cocooning you need to do, because that card is here to say, do what you need to do to feel safe. And the golden egg even has that nest imagery, and the yellow usually signifies some higher self, spiritual realm, right? So like feel into what helps you tap into the self beyond the self, not just our limited self, but where's your real essence that wants to heal, that actually is already healed, and how do we tap into that pure part of ourselves that never was wounded in the first place, right? Because the swords are here telling us it's all our thoughts that keep us constricted. So how do I cocoon myself and really see my thoughts for what they are and process that sense of loss that my mind is telling me I've lost? But really, even if it's a person, we can feel their essence whenever we bring them to mind, right? Can't we? I like to think so. So we'll go ahead and stop here, and let me know if you want to go deeper into this one for your particular scenario. Just reach out and we can do a one-on-one reading. And yeah, thank you for being here. Bye.